Good afternoon. Welcome to Grand Blanc Township Board Meeting for Friday, April 4th. We could all rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Clerk Robertson. Will you please call the roll?
I would be happy to call the roll. Trustee Fike?
Here.
Trustee White?
Here.
Trustee Hugo is absent. Trustee Brown?
Here.
Treasurer Yancho?
Here.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
6 members present, a quorum.
Thank you. And now I'll entertain a motion for approval of the agenda. Motion by Mr. Fike, supported by Mr. White.
Motion by Fike, supported by White on the agenda. Trustee White?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Thank you. And now we'll open the floor for any public comment that anybody would like to make. Seeing no public comment, we'll close public comment and bring it back to the board. And I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Yancho,
Second.
support by Mr. Brown.
Motion by Yancho, supported by Brown on the consent agenda. Okay. Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee White?
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett?
Yes,
6-0, motion passes.
thank you. Seeing no old business, moving right into new business. Item A, the board will consider a motion to reappoint Clerk Robertson, Trustee Fike, and Trustee Hugo to the Election Commission.
This is done every term at this time. We have to reappoint the members of the Election Commission so that they can perform their duties in the election process. I'll make that motion if that's applicable, Mr. Supervisor.
Sure. You have a question?
Will it be a conflict if I vote for this, since I'm...
No, not at all.
Okay.
Motion
Support
by Robertson,
Support by Trustee Brown.
supported by Brown. Very good. Trustee White?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Item B, the board will consider a motion to approve the increase in construction cost for the sump collection system in Wishing Well subdivision to $1,291,624.25 and allow myself to Supervisor Bennett to sign all contracts and agreements. Mr. Lemata?
So the sump collector project is part of the Wishing Well Road project. It was bid out by the Road Commission. These guys were the low bidder for it. Both projects have to happen simultaneously. The sump collector project is paid for by the township, not by the residents of Wishing Well who are paying for the special assessment district for the actual street repair. The street repair actually came in slightly under budget, but this was significantly over budget, so we have to do an amendment to the local road agreement between Grand Blanc Township and the Genesee County Road Commission. And it's not like we can go back out and rebid this. The projects have to happen simultaneously. I don't have the answer as to why the engineer's estimate was so far off what the actual bids came in at.
Okay. Mr. White?
Who was our engineer on this?
This would have been engineered in combination with the road commission, so row engineering.
I mean, seems like we have a pretty big pattern of them going well over the last few years and coming back to us for more money. This has happened on multiple occasions on different things now, so I mean, how are they coming up with these calculations if they're basically consistently wrong on each time?
You know, the last year we did Kings Point, and we saw the sump collection system come in higher there as well, but their road repair came in significantly under. I don't have an explanation for why we're so far off on the sump collector systems. Kind of the nature of the bidding, and one of the things with the sump collector system, it was a competitive bid, and they had quite a few bids. I don't recall, I don't have the bid sheet in front of me, but they had quite a few bids on it. But it was pretty consistent across the board on what they were bidding on that sump collector portion of the project. So the engineer's estimate are just haven't been accurate.
Yeah, the estimate that they give sometimes is on, sometimes off, all depending on where the market is for things too. Whether they have quite a few jobs going on, or material costs, what have you. So some of that can impact it as well, and depending on how long ago they made the estimate versus when they bid it out too. But okay, did we have a motion on that already? Clerk Robertson?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to authorize an amendment to the agreement.
Motion by Yancho.
Support?
I'll support it, Mr. Supervisor.
Just so everybody understands, the sump collection systems are critical to the project in that you go into some of these older neighborhoods, and the subdivision developer oftentimes ran the sump pump lines to possibly a sump collection system behind the homes, or maybe even in front of the homes. But then people put up fences, they plant trees, they dig it up, and it no longer works. And so you end up with people's yards that are flooding with everybody else's sump water flowing into their yard. Kings Point has that in a few different places where we didn't have a paving project yet. But, you see people with hoses running out to the street and what have you, which not good for the street either. But so these sump collection systems are critical to a whole lot of things, because mosquitoes start breeding, and having yards flooded year-round isn't a good idea. So you had a motion and support?
That's correct, Mr.
Go
Supervisor.
ahead, Clerk Robertson.
Call the roll. Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6-0. Motion passes.
Okay, I don't think that we have any board reports. Yes, Mr. Pike?
I realize that we should have said this before this past vote, but if we're seeing a pattern with Roe where they're wrong, A, we should tell them we're not happy, and B, we should reconsider another, engineering firm if this is happening over and over.
Well,
They're a firm,
I know we have no choice but to approve this because you got to have it with the roads, but if this is happening over and over,
understand it isn't that they're wrong, it's that their estimates, they're estimating, let's say, for a project a year from now. So they put out what they think an estimated price would be. Mm-hmm. A year from now, they put it out for bid. Those bids come back. And it isn't, we would have to pull the bid sheet, but like Mr. Lehman said, if all the bids come back at a similar amount, something changed in the market to cause them to go up. Could have been the labor cost. I mean, one of the challenges right now with any kind of road construction is finding enough contractors to do all the work. There's a zillion road projects. In fact, there's been, in the past couple of years, there's been a few road projects. I'll give you one example, Orchard Haven. They approved having their streets paved some time ago, but the project's not going to be done until next year, or started until next year even. And part of it is just the lack of labor. Even these projects, the engineering for the projects, at one time we waited, a year and a half actually to get an engineer's estimate from the road commission for the road projects themselves. And they've had to contract, and that's even with contracting it out to other engineering firms. So anyways, Mr. Lehman.
Greg Boggs just texted me and said Fleece and Vanderbrink actually did the design for Wishing Well, not Row.
Okay. So was that the road commission, Mr. Lehman, that selected the engineering firm for that project?
I'm sure it was, otherwise it would have been row for us. So again, the agreement is always with the road commission when we do these, it's their project, we're just paying for it.
And actually, we've had a few times, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Limata, where we had, there's a few contractors, I'm not saying engineering firms, but contractors that we would probably not have on our projects if it was our choice. However, I'm not sure if the road commission has that luxury of saying that certain people can't bid on a project. So,
Yeah, we've had conversations with the road commission that we have been less than pleased with, certainly one contractor in particular, that we had some issues with on one project, and yet they were then selected as low bidder for another project a year later. And we had weighed in and said, since it's being 100% funded by township residents, we feel like we should have a seat at the table when it comes to selecting, because the low bidder isn't always the best bidder in these projects. But the road commission hasn't changed their policy as far as they have to follow their own policy, and that it goes to the lowest bidder. We always have in ours, it's the lowest qualified bidder. And if that means that we have prior experience or they don't have recommendations that hold up, then we always have the option to select a different bidder. Or if it's a local contractor and it's close enough that we could make that decision. But I don't believe Genesee County Road Commission has the same policy.
right. Okay. We will see everybody on Saturday with our strategic planning session. And with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Bennett.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
We are adjourned at 1:12 PM.